tonight. Welcome. You guys are here. Okay, Edita is here. Annette's here. Carol's here. All right, Mary's here. And Carey, who is also on screen, is saying we're good. Okay. So you guys, I'm so excited because this is something really new. I apologize for being a couple minutes late, but right when you think you've got your tech worked out, it throws a curveball at you. And sometimes you have to just kind of go to plan B and find what we can do. So awesome. Okay, we are live. Welcome to Friday Night Scrapbooking here with Lauren at Craft Some Joy. And I have a super special guest tonight. I think you guys are going to be so excited. This is a whiz, a computer whiz, I have to say. And Carey has impressed me beyond all my wildest dreams on how to do all things, not only computer, but all things electronic cutter. And so she's going to knock your socks off tonight, you guys. Just wait. So excited to have Carey here with me. And we're going to take a look at some new products. So you can see that right here on my desk. I've got some of the brand new products. I did a quick little demo on Facebook Live to show you what came in my goodie box. But I'm going to do it again here really quick on YouTube. Take care of a few housekeeping things, and then we're going to jump in. And like I said, you guys are going to be amazed at what Carey is going to show you tonight. So you really want to stick around. So thanks everybody for saying hello. Kathy's here, Diane's here, Darlene's here. All right. So Heather is a first time for joining us live. Welcome, Heather. And you just got your first CM box. Oh, okay. That's got to be exciting too. Oh, this is going to be a good one. Okay. So Terry's here. Shrell is here. And yeah, Mary's saying hi to Carey. So, she popped off for a second. Okay. She'll come back. All right, you guys. Awesome. We've got Canada is here. And I hope a few of my Aussie friends from Oz come on and say hello too. I know it does get late over there for you. So I am just, like I said, I'm going to jump in, give you guys a little bit of what's new, a little housekeeping. I just have a few things to tell you about. And then we're going to I'm going to just turn it over to Carey because she's got so much good stuff to show you. Okay, so thanks everybody for joining me. And I'm going to hop this over to my, Carey, if you could come back on for a second. Wait, no, I think I'm okay. I can just spotlight. Hold on. Replace spotlight. There we go. Okay, you guys, here is some of the new good stuff from Creative Memories. And like I said, I have some housekeeping. In fact, you know what? Let's just do something fun first and do a prize giveaway. So here's the thing. If you guys have gone to my website at Creative Memories, not at Craft Some Joy, but at creativememories.com, you would have gotten an email from me. If you've ordered, you would have gotten an email from me. And I ask if you would join my Facebook group. And in my Facebook group, I have started doing some fun challenges with my customers in there. Just silly little things like, oh, why don't you do this? Why don't you try that? And guess what? I'll give you a prize, and we're going to do a drawing. And today I get to draw somebody's name out. So I did a little challenge. That's what this is for. And I just think it's fun to do it live with you guys. And in fact, my daughter's down here, Audrey. I'm going to have her come and pick out the name from the box. No peeking, Audrey. Tell me who's got.
Judy Maxwell.
Judy Maxwell. Awesome. Yeah. Judy. We've got you. I think, Judy, you were a winner last time, if I recall. I think, Judy, you got some good mojo going in my Facebook group. So
congratulations, Judy.
Don't worry, everybody, because I'm going to keep this up. I love giving away product certificates. So Judy, you got a $50 product certificate. I got more I'm going to give away. So just keep checking the customer group and we're going to have fun together and do some more prize drawings. So that is for my customers. Also, you were, Judy, you were, she's on too. Yay, Judy's on. Oh, that's so exciting. Okay. All right. So she's got, Judy, you've got some serious good luck charms. Are you Irish? Okay. I want to give you guys a quick tour of what's new. And like I said, then we're going to jump in and show you some fun new things that Carey's going to talk. Today, we are really going to dig into electronic cutters and how we use them for scrapbooking. Okay, so scrapbooking really, I feel like electronic cutting is such a kind of a notch up to your scrapbooking and something that you can do that just enhances your page, right? So you can now Carey is really, really good, you guys. So when you see her pages, you know, don't get intimidated, but there are some, you can go from simple to, you know, like Carey's level and all of that. But cutting, learning your cutters, learning how to use a silhouette or a Cricut really does help. I love it the most for titling. And we've got some surprises to show you that Carey and I have been working on behind the scenes of some favorite shapes. Woohoo! And hopefully, you know, when we get better at this, we're going to show you exactly the whole process and show you where you're going to find those cut files and how you can get your hands on that and how we're going to kind of start working with them on our pages. So we are so excited. Could you see if my file's printed upstairs, Hutch? Would you mind in the printer? So, all right. Okay. So Julie, you love your Brother Scan and Cut. I know, right? So there's Brother Scan and Cut. There's the Cricut, which you use the Cricut design space. And then there's Silhouette. They have the Cameo, the Portrait, and all those different numbers and associations, right? And those all go with Silhouette Studio. So yes, and Carey says she's a cutting machine collector. I am too, Carey. You know, we both have quite a few. I think you have more than I do, though. So here is the new Staycation, and I am really excited about this paper pack and this collection. And Carey and I have been talking about some of the fun shapes that are in here, and wouldn't it be fun to make some additional cut files that go with this pack? Okay, do you see? That's where we're going, you guys. I'm so excited about it. That's where we're heading. We're heading off into not only being able to use all this amazing stuff, but also how do we make, you know, even those extra little, you know, wowza things that can go with the collections and then make things even more fun, right? Okay, so here, let's see, that is right side up. So here's the stickers that go with Staycation. And Audrey just ran upstairs and got, I printed some borders because you guys know how much I love borders. So they were in the printer upstairs. So at the end, if you guys want to stick around after Carey, I have an idea for this border right here to tweak it because you guys know how much I love tweaking borders. These are from the CM blog. So people always ask, where do you get your border ideas? A lot of times the first place I go is the Creative Memories blog and then I just save them and I print them. You can save them, put them in a file and keep them that way. But look how fun using the new Staycation collection and the new punch. Okay, so we're gonna hopefully have to just try this out a little later. But I just wanted to give you a quick little tour of some of the colors, patterns, and fun stuff in this pack. You guys, it's really cute. It's got all the journal mats, and I already kind of started piling my embellishments into the fill and file sleeve. And did I mention enamel dots? Because you guys, I hope you know how I feel about enamel dots. And these are the cutest. Look at that. Look at, do you see, Audrey? Look at the little house. No, you can't have them. They're mine. That one, she likes to take my enamel dots, so I have to watch it. Yeah, she's a scrapbooker at heart, somewhere in there. We'll get her going someday. All right, so that is the staycation. There's embellishments. That's what I was just showing you. I had to get, I love that pack, so I kind of got a couple extra. There's also the new Keep the Faith, beautiful collection on the blog. There is a really cool page layout. Have you guys gone over there and seen the Creative Memories blog? You guys really need to. I was just there, and there was a really cool page on the blog. It's kind of a fancy page. It's more of a fancy page. So if you go to the blog, check it out, and you can, and in fact, I might have to come on another live. This weekend is Creative Cafe. So I've been kind of burning the candle at both ends. But after this weekend, it's this paper here. Maybe we'll have to come on live and do that page because it's pretty complicated, but I think it would be kind of a fun one to work through together. But it's creating a circle and then some strips and kind of using the cloud paper in a really unique way. So go check it out. Yes, go check it out on the Creative Memories blog. Really, really beautiful page. I think we'll have to come back, play some more with the Faith collection. And there's stacked embellishments with this. And if you didn't get the cross punch, perfect time to go with the whole collection, right? I mean, it's just so fun, isn't it? So what I'll do while Carey's teaching you all about everything digital and Cricut and Silhouette and electronic cutting, I'm going to kind of maybe, pull some things together for at the end. We'll do a border with you guys. And Kathy, you always look at the blog. Yes, I know. They've got some great ideas. I mean, it's a great place to start for inspiration. One last little detail, 8x8s are now live and they only bring them out a few times a year. So I just wanted to make sure you knew that right now they have some really kind of cool colors. This is called Vintage Green Herringbone. This one's called Tide Pool. These are only limited edition. So once these albums are gone, they're gone. And they won't be returning. They will return 8x8s, but when they do these exclusive colors and patterns, they don't bring those back. I just like you guys to know that. Also, I had on the Last Chance, I checked Last Chance before I came live tonight, and I want you guys to know about one other item they put on Last Chance, and I was kind of disappointed to hear. I'm rattling around. The Jumbo Hexagon. Did you guys hear that? Jumbo Hexagon is now going on Last Chance. So this is using with the custom cutting mat, right? And the blades. But if you go on there, you can always click on the Last Chance button and just kind of see what they've loaded in there and make sure if there's anything that you want, once it's gone, you're going to pay 2 to 3 to 4 times more for it for some of these aftermarket sites. But here is also one last little piece of info before I turn it over to Carey. So Carey, get ready. I want to mention is that anybody who has product that, like if you have punches or border maker cartridges and you're sitting on some inventory, that you would like to move, please contact me if you're an advisor or a deactivated advisor. I have so many people who are looking for product, and I would be happy to just buy bundles from you. So I've done a post on a couple of the In Search of groups, but the thing is, I really don't feel like I can charge 2 to 3 to 4 times the price for a punch, even if it's discontinued. But if somebody, is ready to kind of move their inventory, I am happy to, kind of bundle it all up. It'll save on shipping, and then I can, just resell it at the normal price for a lot of people who would love to find those kind of products. So I just wanted to put that out there as an opportunity, because I know, like, here's the thing, you guys, I still don't have the snowman border punch. And I have a little alert set for when it goes on eBay. And it just got listed. One just got listed on eBay. The starting price was $45 for a border maker cartridge. Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Let's see if we can kind of use our resources together. And, if I can help you, reach out, get some product, is the Hexagon is already out of stock. See, that's what I'm trying to not, that makes me sad. That makes me really sad. And, that's what happens. As soon as they announce something like that, people go in and they just buy them up like crazy, because they know they can then turn around and punch the price up. And that makes me sad. It really does. So if there's a way we can work out to get people products that they need at a really, at the reasonable rate, and we're not just supporting people who can purchase a bunch of products and resell them, then I'm all for it. So just wanted to say that. Carey, I am super duper excited to introduce you. I'm going to hop on over to Zoom and spotlight you. You guys, you're in for a treat. Are you ready? Here she comes. Replace the spotlight. Okay. Carey, you're on.
So, thanks for the introduction. So I am Carey, and I am
Okay, hold on. Carey, I'm not hearing you. Oh, wait, 1 second. Is that me? Wait, somebody put in the chat. Can you hear Carey? That could be me, because I had to turn off my computer for the
How about now?
Yeah. Could you hear?
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hear Carey?
Yes.
Okay. So Carey, you're good. I'm sorry. That was me.
Okay, but I need you to hear me too.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so I am Carey Payette, and I'm on Lauren's team. So I've only been an advisor for, I guess, it's been a little over 6-7 months now, I think. So I'm fairly new to the game for Creative Memories, but I do like what I see, and I've collected quite a bit since then. So I'm one of those I'm my own best customer type people. So Lauren knows that about me too, because she enables me on all these Friday night crops. I mean, seriously. All right. So as Lauren talked to you earlier, we are going to be talking about digital die cutting and what it can do to help you in your scrapbooking journey. So I have, like I mentioned in the chat earlier today, I have amassed quite a few digital die cutters over the years. So I've got a good taste of a lot of the major players right now. So I do have what I'm going to be using today. I'm going to concentrate on the Silhouette Cameo. So that was the Cameo 4 is actually my newest one that I just bought Black Friday. So I also have an original Cameo. I have a Brother Scan and Cut. I have a Cricut maker. I have a Pazzles. I have a Wishblade, and I have a Zing. Now, not all of those are connected right now. I only,
Awesome.
so I really, I do concentrate on the main three, and the main three that I talk about is going to be the Silhouette, the Cricut, as well as the Scan and Cut. So those are going to be the ones that I use the most. All right. So let's start by talking about what the benefits of a digital kit are from Creative Memories. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. Is it looking right side directional?
Good, Carrie. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because some of these softwares like to flip those things around. But anyway, so inside of Creative Memories, you're going to find an area where it's under Create Digital Photo Albums, but you can go to Digital Artwork. So what I like about Creative Memories is no matter what they come out with, like any type of collection that you may be interested in, it will come out with its equivalent inside of a digital kit. So what exactly does this mean to me? Because I'm not a digital scrapbooker. I'm a paper scrapbooker. So why would I be interested in a digital kit? And the reason for this is,
Carrie,
have you ever,
I'm sorry to interrupt, but could you I forgot to mention that cute little St. Patrick's Day kit, right?
oh, yes.
Could you show them the price on that kit?
Look at this thing. And look how cute it is too, right?
I love that rainbow. You guys, it's 1 cent until the 23rd. That was on my housekeeping list. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, Carrie, but I did have to let you guys know you can hop over and buy it for 1.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, and what Carrie's talking about, this is actually perfect for this kind of a kit. If you're not a digital scrapbooker, this is what she's talking about. You can use it. So I'm sorry.
Right. And another good thing about this is that you don't have to invest very much. If you're looking at just doing a penny, that if you just want to test this out, go ahead and test it out on something that's worth a penny, right?
Right.
So available until March 23rd, and it is absolutely adorable.
And
All right.
Thank you.
And we saw Lauren showing earlier that we have the digital Staycation Kit. So this is, I still have yet to order my actual physical one because I just put in like 2 orders. But I did go ahead and purchase my digital version of this Staycation. Now, what's nice is that you can either buy digital kits pieces at a time, or you can buy the entire collection in what's called a kit. So here's the digital Staycation Kit, and this includes everything that is in the digital Staycation paper pack, the digital Staycation elements, and the digital Staycation matte pack. So if you wanted to buy all 3 of these, all you have to do is get the kit, and then you will have every single element available to you. And what's nice about this is because you have it digitally and because you own it, you're never going to run out of that pattern paper. You're never going to run out of the embellishments that you want. You can print and cut anything that you need going forward. Now, does this replace the need for having the physical scrapbooking items? Absolutely not. So I like the convenience of having my sticker sheets. I like the convenience of being able to pull a sticker border off and put it across a layout. So it's not a replacement, but it definitely augments your regular traditional scrapbooking. So I don't see any other questions up yet, so I'll continue. All right. So benefits of Creative Memories kits: never run out of stickers, never run out of embellishments, never run out of pattern paper. If you need something in a different size, you can resize items. If you wanted that heart sticker to be smaller or larger, for instance, you can do that, print it and cut it on your cutter, whether you want to do that on cardstock or if you want to do it on sticker paper. Now, Let me switch back to my frontal facing camera here for a moment. Now, when we're talking about the benefits of an electronic cutter, I actually was more or less forced into this area back in the early to mid 2000s. So I've been scrapbooking for quite some time, just that I'm new to creative memories as a whole. But the reason why die cutting became very important to me is because I have a boy named Reese, Reese. You never guess how long a sticker sheet would last. I could spell his name once.
Right.
Right. And I also have a friend who has a Shannon. So it takes up like all the ends.
Yes.
So
And my kids are all names too. So I get that a lot.
yeah. Mhm. So I see a question on there. How many times can we use it? The digital kits, once you actually purchase it, it's yours to keep. So I will show you what a collection looks like. A kit will look like in a couple minutes. But anyway, so the benefits of electronic cutter, again, you won't, alphabet letters never worked for me because of the names that we have in our family. You can write custom titles. You can create custom embellishments. And you can also create your own sticker sheets. So I'm going to show you some of that as well. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. And what I'll do is I'm going to show you essentially what it looks like to download a digital kit. So after you've purchased it. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go into my account. I'm going to hold back a sneeze. Still
Maybe
holding
while
back.
you sneeze, Carey, you can yourself. One of the questions came up from Sabine. She was saying that when you print, you use a lot of color on a printer. And, I find that is true, but maybe you could also mention a few other little fun ways you can pull in patterns from paper. Not just, you wouldn't be printing the whole paper sheet, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
Right. So you can definitely fill shapes and things like that with digital paper as well. Another thing too, when you're talking about the quality of your print, the quality of your print is going to be reflective of the material that you're printing on. So you want to make sure that you are using a good cardstock. So Creative Memories cardstock, for instance. I also have invested and I'm currently experimenting with the Red River papers. So I will have, once I've used it a little bit more, some more detailed information about which type of papers to do that. Other than that, for sticker sheets, I just use the Silhouette sticker sheets, and those, even though it's branded Silhouette, it could be used in any cutter. But I will show you some of that. All right. So what I did was I went into my account and I just downloaded this, went into my account from the drop down, and oops, I'm going to get to do it again. And you're going to go to this third or fourth, I should say, fourth item, which is my downloadable products. So everything that you've purchased that is a digital element or a digital kit of some type or paper pack, what have you, will show up in this My Downloadable Products. So you can see that I have Everyday Shades, Emerald Gemstone, Picture This, the St. Patrick's Day. So that is the 1 penny one. I invested that whole penny. But you can see that I have multiple things available, and I'm going to actually dive into some of the staycation. I'll show you some of that. And then in my actual album showing some examples, I'm using the Little Dreamer kit. So what I've done here, I'll show you here in a little bit, but it's creating my own embellishments as well as creating titles and stickers. Another thing is this Love Wins. If you remember, this was a very popular stickers, right? It's very popular stickers. So I actually invested in the elements, and I'm able to print more of those stickers now that I'm actually out of the physical ones.
And more of your favorites too.
Oh yeah. 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 You're going to see a lot of the watercolor hearts.
And one
All
thing
right.
here on this, I
Uh-oh.
want to point out, if you, it's really nice is that they are always there. So is that me, or are we still good? Okay. So once you download, they stay in your Creative Memories account, you know, because that's always a hard thing when you're like, oh, where is that download? If you can't remember where it is, or you lost it, or you put it in the trash, it's always in your account.
Yep.
So I love that you can just always come back and find it quick and easy. And then Deb had a question about, I think you could answer this. Can you use the elements that you download from Creative Memories and put them in your Cricut Access account?
Absolutely. And if you haven't heard you don't even have to have Cricut Access. So there was a little bit of drama earlier on this week about Cricut was going to introduce a 20 upload cap, but they've since retracted that. So they're not going to impose any limits now. So Deb, in answer to your question, you can absolutely upload your images that you've downloaded from Creative Memories into your Design Space account. All right, so let me go ahead and I'm going to show you inside of my hard drive how I organize my Creative Memories items. So I'm going to bring this over here, and you're going to see that I have a drive, and this is a physical drive, but you can have an external drive if you wanted to. And I have a Creative Memories folder. And each one of these I've created based off of the actual theme or
Oops.
the app's got the kit, so it includes all the zip files for this. Yeah, so Deb, yes, you are right that you would download these things to your computer. So they are just images on your computer. So inside of Elements, you can see that we have all of the stickers that are on the sticker sheets. So if I wanted to take this arrow and bring it in and cut it out using my Cricut or my Silhouette, I can do that. My youngest son is a fiend for pizza. So I would totally probably print like 1 million of these, right? So I have that ability now to do that. So that is what the Staycation elements look like. And then here's the matte pack. So all of the items that are available in the matte pack, you can go ahead and print them out as is, or use bits and pieces of these different elements inside of your creations. So that is the Staycation matte pack. And then this one has just the paper pack. There's no tone on tone. But these are already sized to be printed at 12 by 12, but that is not the only context that you can use them in. So we had talked a little bit earlier about, well, if I want to print an entire sheet, that's going to cost a fortune in ink. And yes, yeah, it totally would, right? So you're going to want to use these sparingly. But of course, you know, if you really loved like this pin map here, and you're out of it and it's 2 years down the line and it's no longer available, of course it's worth it to invest in actually printing the 12 by 12 if you have a printer that can support that. So you would need a wide format printer for sure. All right, so I think that is pretty much what I'm going to show for that. So let me show you a couple examples of some of the things that I've done. Now, I don't have quite the fancy cameras as Lauren has. Of course,
Which are working tonight.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe I should see if we can get yours fixed up. But anyway, so I'm going to actually pull this out. So you can see that this is a Little Dreamer collection. So this is the album that it came with. It has the foiling accents on it. Unfortunately, I don't have enough clearance here, so I have to pull it out, open it, and slide it back in. But you can see here that I've got a couple things happening.
Carey,
So
backwards. It's
is
back.
it backwards?
Yes.
I thought we just checked that.
I thought we did too.
All right. That's okay. I can fix it. I can fix it. So the overhead, I am going to.
I want them to get the full effect.
Yeah. Let's see if I put the right one. Nope, that's upside down.
Now all you guys just have to do is stand on your head. You'll
Mhm.
read it.
All right. Let's try this again. All right.
All this mirroring and, tech is a little tricky, guys. So,
There.
to bring you all this good stuff, but it's fun when you get it going. There
All
you
right.
go. Perfect.
So I've done a couple things here. So you're going to see that I actually have a foiled element up in this corner. It's going to be hard to pick up on camera. But what I did here was an actual print then cut. So the way that the foiling worked, and this is just a trick that I have, is I have a couple different printers. One is a toner printer. And when heated, toner turns into an adhesive, and you could put it through with foil and create foiled elements. So what I did was I printed this on my toner printer on the beige cardstock that Creative Memories used to have, and then ran it through my laminator with some foil. Now this over here is a custom embellishment that I created. So you could see that I created a heart, and I cut it with pattern paper, and then a second one with pattern paper, and I layered them using foam squares. So that is a couple of elements there. And I have a lot of items here. So here is a title where I just used a font that I have on my computer. And I wrote awaiting, and I put a shadow on it. So it was awaiting. And then down here is, whoops, don't get seasick here. Now it's.
And there's the Infinity Chain Border cartridge.
Oh yes, yeah. I'm still learning from you, Lauren, on borders. So, but anyway, so here's the Your Arrival. And I did the same thing where I created the text and I put a shadow on it. And then I added a heart embellishment to it. So I layered my title with this heart.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry for the seasickness there.
Elements and text together and then outline it. I know some of you guys have already done this yourself, but this is good for anybody who kind of is also thinking about, ooh, do I want a cutter? What can I do with a cutter? This is so great to show what you can do with a scrapbook specifically.
Yeah. And then following some of Lauren's guidance too, I tried to stick primarily to one font. So you have that cohesiveness. I learned that from you. So there's our Be Our Guest. Again, I'm using for the large shadow pattern paper, and then cardstock for the other two layers. So you can see two separate shadow layers on that title. And let's see here. So there is an embellishment. That's my dad's favorite saying. So yes, I am using a baby set to do a 50th anniversary party themed album.
That's okay. I used it to do pet pages, right?
That's true.
I love Little Dreamer. This is, it's such a cute collection.
Yeah, it's very versatile. But you can have it say exactly what you want and how you want it said. And you could see that I used a bunch of glyphs here too with tails and swooshes and things like that. So you can get pretty creative depending on the fonts that you're using.
Right.
And then here's an embellishment. I need more real estate.
I say that all the time too.
So here's an embellishment here, and actually our team crop is when I made this border. I was trying to figure out how to incorporate it, and they gave me some great ideas. But you can see here that I have a lot of paper embellishments that are linking together with a custom cut file that I created. So I created a photo booth, and again, adding little swirls and tails. Then I put a film strip and a camera. So all of these elements I pulled together and created this embellishment. So that is that one there. And again, different borders and different embellishments. So that is a love title that I created just using fonts and backing it with patterned paper from the collection. But I didn't have to cut anything other than, I let the cutter do all the cutting, I should say. I just had to adhere it together.
Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorites. I love the love.
And see these stickers, those are all stickers that I printed and cut on my, I printed it on my printer and cut it on my Silhouette. But you'll notice that those stickers, even though they look identical to the ones in the Love Wins collection, these are different sizes. So I was able to create them exactly to the dimensions that I want to make sure that my pages get balanced.
Right.
So it's not like too heavy on one side.
And you can reprint all the watercolor, your favorites, right?
Yes, yes. So this is an example. Of course, you could see that I've used quite a few of them in here already. Because it is Little Dreamer, some of them are pretty pale. My camera's not picking them up the greatest. But what I do is I actually fill in a paper full of different stickers that I think that I would use. So I want to use a lot of hearts and a lot of stars. So even though it's the Little Dreamer collection, I thought that the Love Wins really went together with it nicely. Mm-hmm. So you'll see a combination of both Little Dreamer elements in there as well as Love Wins. And the same thing for here is I wanted to have some larger elements. So these ones are actually printed larger than what is available on the sticker sheets. So if you wanted to, of course, you could cut them the normal sizes. So you could measure it and get really exact with it, or you could just take a look at it and see, how big you think you would want it.
Mm-hmm. So Carey, people are going crazy now. So can you make font shadows with the Cricut?
Yes.
Yes.
Actually, that is something new that came out. I think I opened Design Space yesterday and I saw the update come through. So Cricut Design Space now does have an offset feature, which it has been lacking for many, many, many years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, but, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then another thing that is really nice, depending on the cutter that you have as well, is you can create your own borders. So this is one of the borders that I've created. I haven't used it just yet, but I wanted to, for the picture of this, I wanted to have a border with the film strip. And I was debating whether or not I wanted to fill it with different pattern papers or what have you. So the Silhouette Cameo can cut up to like a 1/16 of an inch shy of 12 inches. Mm-hmm. So basically what that means is you can go through and you can cut a 12-inch border, but you would have to snip like teeny tiny minuscule piece with scissors at the end of your edges of your cardstock. So that's where these come in handy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Your microtip.
Yeah. Carey, some folks came on late and they're like, who is this wonderful Carey that's talking? And I do want to, just for anybody who came late, reintroduce Carey. Is such an amazingly talented person who I get the pleasure of having on my Creative Memories team. So she comes to our team crops and has just been so gracious to volunteer her time with me for all things virtual, but also we've been talking about exactly what you're asking about, which is classes. Carey, they want you to teach them. And it's so funny because Carey and I have been working behind the scenes talking about that for you guys. So stay tuned. We're going to have more on that. And Carey does know the silhouette, the Cricut, and the Brother Scan and Cut. Those are the three heavy hitters. We both have all three of those and know, those are kind of the ones most people have. We both really like, I mean, would you say, Carey, we both kind of like the silhouette? I don't know.
Yeah.
Rank them in order. What are your top, like rank 1, 2, 3? What are your, and then I'll do mine.
Oh, that's a tough one.
What's your,
I probably would say the silhouette is probably number one. So I saw a couple comments, and one of the benefits, again, like the silhouette cameo, is that you can cut pretty much the full 12-inch width. The other two cutters, you can't. So I think the Cricut can only do 11 3/4, and I think it's the same for the Scan and Cut. So the one that comes the closest, where you literally only have to snip a small little portion, is on the cameo itself. Now, I had mentioned, I think it was Judy I was chatting with earlier on the chat. She was looking to invest in a new cutter and was wondering, what is the best cutter for me? And I replied that it depends. Right. So for me, for the flexibility and the features that are available, it would be the Silhouette Cameo. And I could probably switch to, I can talk to you. So it would be the Silhouette Cameo. And the reason for that is that the software just has so many more features available to it, right? So offset was something that was available since the beginning. It's not something that you have to wait for. Now, with Silhouette, there's different levels of the software, though. So you're going to have like the basic edition, which is free, and then there's a designer edition, and I think a business edition. I think there's one more edition in there, but the most expensive one that you'll find, I think it's $80, and that's for life. Every single upgrade will be available to you. The most feature-rich one will be the business one, and I think it's $80 if I remember correctly. Now, when we're talking about usability, so if you're not technical and you're not comfortable like in graphics programs and things like that, I recommend the Cricut. So what I really love about the Cricut is I am an Access subscriber, so I get tons of images that are available for me to use. You don't have to be an Access subscriber, though, to use the cutter. You could still upload images and things like that. But for ease of use, the Cricut Design Space, hands down, is the most straightforward. This is how you accomplish creating a title, for instance. It tells you exactly how to lay out your mats. It literally walks you through step by step. So for Cricut, I really enjoy it because of that usability. You can get up and running with very little learning curve. So I'm not going to say there isn't one, but very little learning curve. Now the Brother Scan and Cut. I am also an avid stamper. I don't have dies for all the stamps that I own. So I've actually done it in some of our crops where I've taken letter stamps and stamped out something like in a sports font, for instance, and threw it onto my Scan and Cut mat and just told it to cut it. It literally scans it. You surround what you want to cut, and it will cut it for you. So I did have a question, I think a little earlier on, said, what is an offset? So an offset is Like if you take a look, of course, I have to show this again. If you look at these hearts, for instance, the offset is that shadow layer behind the hearts. So you can do that on embellishments, and you can also do that on letters and titles. All right, so you're trying to ask me to rate them. I love them all.
You were pitch glitchy there, I think. Well, it was either you or me.
Okay, it could be either or,
Sure.
but I would say that probably the silhouette is my favorite, but I love them all. And
Mhm.
between the scan and cut and the Cricut, see those ones, they kind of give you a little bit of everything, right? So I love the scanner in my scan and cut because that's what I use for my my stamping.
Right.
But I also love the quickness and like being able to create something really quickly on the Cricut because it's not overwhelming with different features. So
Right.
I'm going to
And
tie it.
Carol brought up a good point. A lot of us started with Cricut, right? Because that was one of the very first cutters that came out. And I'm with you, Carol. Like I have cartridges galore, right? And those you can now all access in Design Space, which is nice. So if you do, in fact, if we're talking CM, we've got old CM cartridges that were when they did a partnership with Cricut. So did you know that, Carrie?
I didn't.
Yeah, yeah. We'll have to talk about that because
Yeah.
that was old CM. You guys remember that? Old CM had some different cartridges that came out along with the palettes. And so you could have, expand your whole collection by cut files. So, but there's some great, I just want to point this out. If you guys have questions, some people are answering questions in the chat, or we're trying to answer as we go too. But the main thing I'm hearing is you kind of have to know who you are as a scrapbooker to know, do you want to just go simple and easy and Cricut, or do you want to kind of do different things? But I think my order is about the same. I love Silhouette Studio because it just gives you just that much more flexibility. But I'm also familiar with design programs, and so that relates to me very well. So I think you have to kind of figure out where you're coming from.
Exactly. Out
Yeah.
of those three, you will not find a bad cutter. So
Right.
you won't make a
Not
mistake.
all three too. So I think, here we,
Yeah.
we figure, yeah. Yeah. So Cindy loves them too. I know they are all, every one of them, I think, has a different feature. And, so take a look at the chat. There's a lot of good info in there. And Carla wants to know the name of your artist from your
Oh,
background. Isn't it gorgeous?
I have no idea. This was just a picture that I pulled off the web. So
Okay.
I have a green screen behind me, so there's actually no painting behind me. It's
See how
fake.
lucky she is, you guys? She's she's tricking you. She thinks, well, check this chat because I think she knows the artist in case you're interested. Lenon, I'm going to butcher the name, you guys. Leonide Aframov.
Sure.
Sounds okay. All right. Well, do you guys want to see how this works? Because Carrie has some things set up for you. Isn't that exciting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't we create an embellishment?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So what I'm going to do is, I bumped my screen. I'm going to move Zoom first over here. And I'm going to go back to my screen sharing. And what I have right now is I have a silhouette. So today we're going to be talking about the silhouette. But again, a lot of these items are, you're able to create them on any of those major 3 cutters if you wanted to. Just the software would work a little bit differently. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to create an embellishment that goes with the Staycation collection. All right. So I want to create a map marker that says you are here. And I want to make this layered. I want to have shadows or offsets. I want to use my foam squares. So again, even though I download, I'm not actually going to use a digital kit in this sense, but we're going to create an embellishment that is just, what is that word?
Stat?
Inspired by.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Inspired by, yeah.
All right. So the reason why I'm doing it as inspired by is just so that we could potentially share this with you later. So obviously, if you create embellishments based off of your creative memories items, you're not going to be able to share those like to the world. Those are purchased, those are intellectual property of creative memories. But obviously a map marker is pretty generic. So I've created just a regular, map marker that you see all over the place right now. And it was inspired by that pattern paper and some of the embellishments. And what I did here was I created the map marker and I created a circle. And what I did with this circle is just showing myself the placement, because I don't know about you, but I like things to be perfect. So this is okay, well, here's the circle. If I want to pop this up, I want to know exactly where I'm popping it up. So you don't have to do anything like that. I just do that for myself from time to time. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy these items in a file that I've already created called map marker only. And I'm going to paste that into a new document. So now I have this map marker. All right. And what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to write my text. So I'm going to go to my text tool here. So you can see that's the text tool. And I'm going to come over to this. This is like your panels section all the way here on the right. So I'm going, that's the wrong panel. I want the font panel. And what I'm going to do is actually, I'm already there on Zolonium. So this is the font that I want to use for the U. So I'm just going to click anywhere on my canvas and I'm going to type U. Now I want to change up. So a lot of the design that you see that are popular right now actually mix up the fonts. So I'm going to have this U, which is in all caps, and I want to add some script below it just so you have that difference in between them.
A font duo.
Yeah.
I call it font duos. I love font duos.
I'm going to use a font called Oakwood. And this is one of my favorite fonts. So again, I'm going to select Oakwood here, going to select my font tool, and I'm going to click anywhere on my canvas. So I'm going to say R here. All right, so now I have my text that I want. So I'm going to actually zoom this in so you can see this a little bit better. So here is the U. And just so we can see it a little bit better, I'm going to open up the fill panel and I'm going to select gray. And then same thing for the R here, I'm going to select gray here as well. But now you notice that, all right, well, here's the R, but you'll see that they're not connected. They're still individual letters, right? So actually, if I want to, I can ungroup this. I never noticed that the A was slightly off, so I want to just nudge this with my arrow keys, make sure that it lines up right. And I could see I can do that here as well. And the only reason why I could see that is because I zoomed in enough. I actually already cut something similar to this and didn't even notice that before. So that's a first time. And then I can actually go ahead and weld this together. And what weld does is you see these cuts in between the letters. It's actually going to fill those in and make it all like all the overlaps equal one shape. So if I hit weld, you're going to notice that the lines between the letters are no longer there. So there's the "you are here." Okay, that looks pretty cool. What if we add a heart? So I'm going to come over here to my shape tool, and I'm going to find the heart. And I want to put a heart directly inside of this circle. So I can go ahead and change that. So I don't know if that's the right size. It's probably a little too big, but I want to go ahead, and my fill panel's already open. So I'm going to change the fill to a pink, and I can resize this however large I want it to be. And then of course, if your mouse disabled like I am, you can use your arrow keys to nudge things pixel by pixel, or you can use a line tool. So what I did here is I've just selected both the heart and that circle, and you can go to the Align panel and you can center it vertically and horizontally. But of course it's top heavy, so it looks a little off. So I'm still going to nudge it down just a little bit. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right. So let's see what this would look like. So I want this text, and if you want to use group and use and modify, I should say, things together, you can actually select multiple items and you can group them together. So now that I've grouped them, I could move them around. And since I already showed you the offset panel, or not the offset, the transform panel, I'm going to go ahead and center the text together. Of course, I don't want to center it vertically. And then I'm going to give it a little bit more room. All right, I think that looks good. Let's now position our marker. So here we have the "you are here." If I wanted to, I can bring these in here as well. I actually probably want to make this a little bit bigger. So one of the things when you're resizing items is that if you're going to be stacking items, you want to resize them together. So even though they're separate cut files, I want this circle and this heart to be together. So I'm going to select all three of those shapes and I'm going to group them. And then I can resize them however I see fit. So I think that looks a little bit better size-wise. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually send this backward. So I'm going to send to back just so it layers the way I want to visualize it. Now, when we actually cut, we're going to be cutting from different colored cardstock, so it doesn't really matter. But I just want you to be able to visualize exactly how your element is going to look. So because I have these grouped right now, I can ungroup them to start moving things around individually. So I'm going to take my heart out here. Well, not literally take my heart out, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
So I want this layering piece. So I can see this being on foam dots and putting that on foam. So that looks good to me right now. Now what I want to do is I want to create those offsets. So those offsets were the shadow layers. So the way to do that in Silhouette Studio is select all the items. Then you would go to this offset panel. And then you have a choice of which type of offset. And we just want to use a regular offset. And the default is this 0.125 inch offset. And you can adjust that however you see fit. But I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to apply that. So now you can see that we have this shadow layer surrounding everything that I selected. And what this gives you is when you're assembling your embellishment, it gives you the ability to put like different colors of mats essentially behind what you're cutting. So what is better than one shadow layer? Two shadow layers. So with this other shadow layer selected now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this offset. Now I don't want the offset to be the same size. I actually want it to be a little bit smaller. So I'm going to say 0.05 125. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Yes. So that looks fantastic to me. So here you can see that we have our font, our marker. I selected all of those, created a 0.125 matte or offset layer. And then off of that offset layer, I created a 0.05 inch offset layer. So just so we can see it a little bit better, whoops, that's not what I wanted. I want to actually select just the one. There we go. And of course I moved it. Okay, now let's go to this offset layer. Let's make it white. There we go. So the assembled one will now look like this. All right. Yep, shadowing is exactly like matting. All right, so the next trick I'm going to show you is when we actually go to cut it. So we have multiple colors here that I want to use to cut out of different colors of cardstock. Now I just color it for my own purpose. Obviously, if you're just cutting, it'll cut whatever color you put on your mat, right? I'm not printing anything here. So what I want to do is I want to put the U are here. Whoops, there we go. To cut out of gray cardstock. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my gray cardstock in this upper quadrant. And let's see, inside of here, I'm going to put my teal. And I already have my mat set up. So if you're wondering why I'm pausing in between, it's because I'm looking at where I put them on my mat. So here is the white. And of course, we have the circle that I want in white as well. So why don't we get this out of the way? Now I'm wondering if I actually put enough on it. And then of course you can rotate things however you see fit as well. So inside of this area on my mat, I put that. And then at the 6-inch area is where I put my pink. All right, so this is how I've set it up to cut on my mat. So I'm going to grab my mat. I'm going to put the overhead camera back on here in just a second. And then we're going to actually feed this into my cutter. All right, so let me switch to overhead here.
Okay, so you guys, I just want you to know, this is like, you know, who has done that? First of all, throw it in the chat. Have you guys, like, it didn't even occur to me to put multiple colors on one sticky sheet and then move the things around, right? But I don't use my cutters, you know, as extensively. But isn't that genius, just going, oh yeah, let's just throw different colors of paper and I'm going to cut these different things, and you cut it all at once. Who does that? Do you guys do that? Or was that like an aha moment for you who are used to using your cutters? And then we have a question, Carey, from Kristen, and she is comfortable with Silhouette Studio. And have you ever used it to help design your pages?
I do actually. So like when I'm creating borders and things like that, I'll design the pages that way. I haven't done too much actual photo cutting, but I have printed on high quality cardstock and image and cut them into shapes. So that is something that I've done. But anyway.
Yeah. So there's some of us who like, of course I've done it. Yeah, you know, I do that all the time. And then others that are like, no, I've never thought of that. Thank you. You make me feel better. But it's really fun. All these little tips, right? When we come together and we can see, oh yeah, this is how we do things. And some of you have. And oh, I was going to say, Carey, way up in the chat, Julie mentioned she has cut 100% 12-inch borders by going diagonally, right, Julie?
Wow.
diagonally, say that word fast 3 times.
Diagonally, like on Harry Potter.
Across the mat from corner to corner. So maybe that would be a way to get a full inch, but this is cool. Thank you, Carey. Keep going.
Yep. And of course, Silhouette now has like the Silhouette Pro, and like they have enormous ones now. But
Yeah.
I'm fine with cutting like the little 1/16 of an inch off the sides. I'll keep my Cameo for.
So there's always good things to learn.
Yep. So I am going to go back to screen sharing. So you saw what my mat looks like. Next thing that we're going to do is we're going to send it to the cutter. So it says, I want you to load the media. So I'm leaning over and I'll show you my cutter here in a moment.
Yeah, Hallie, I know the digital packs are super fun. Once you kind of start seeing all the potential. Yeah. And oh yeah, good ideas on the Brother Scan and Cut. That is actually, if you make a little like pro con list for all the different cutters, one of the amazing features of the Brother Scan and Cut is that you can have a scrap of paper, you roll it through, this is what they're talking about in the chat. You roll it through your scanner and your scanner will show you exactly where, you can leave that scan of your scrap paper up and then put what you want to cut on the scan. Did I explain that well enough?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
So that is what is really cool, right? We didn't talk about that feature about the scan and cut. So you can definitely like scan any kind of shape and then twist and move your embellishment around so that it fits on that little piece of scrap paper that you have. So yes. Okay. So somebody is saying, let's see. What machine? Kathy, she is using the Silhouette. We're on Silhouette.
Yep.
But we've talked about them all, Kathy. So hit replay when we're all done. So yeah, lots of choices.
All right. So what the Silhouette does is it allows you, apparently I have 2 shades of red here, but different cut lines can have different settings. So cut line colors, or you could do it by fill. I usually do it by cut line color because I use my fill to, visualize, because I'm very visual. So apparently when I copied and pasted, I have 2 different colors of red, but it doesn't matter. Everything I'm cutting is going to be thick cardstock. So I'm going to go ahead and send this to my cutter right now. And what I'm going to do is switch it. Did I not hit send? Oh. Oh, am I overlapping something? I don't think so. This is what happens when you do it live. I am not seeing where it's overlapping the red rectangle.
I don't see it either, Carey. Huh.
Well, let's see here.
Yes. The Cricut Joy. There's a question that came in about Cricut Joy. Like that's your little, kind of.
That's the tiny one.
Tiny one. Like if you just want to have it right next to you to cut little things, right? And that it has a lot of features and there's a lot of YouTube videos on the Cricut Joy too. I don't have one of those yet, but I thought about it.
I'm trying not to collect too many more.
So yeah, Julie, they don't have all the creative memory digital items do not have to stay on the website. You can bring them into cutting programs, which is awesome. Oh, and I think there was a question earlier about the like using sticker paper from other companies. You just have to read about that. I don't know what the levels, if it is quote unquote safe. But you know, guys, the general rule is Creative Memories album pages. Here's your little tutorial, is they are buffered. And what that means is when there is like acid or when it's something that's not pH neutral. Buffering means pH neutral. So if you put a greeting card in there, it's not going to let that the harmful chemicals from that card migrate because the page is buffered. So if you're doing something and, maybe, I don't know what the sticker paper, qualifications are, whatever, but as long as you're not like sticking the sticker on your photograph, you're pretty safe. Okay. So that's the only time I'm concerned is when something is in contact with your photos, because those are the chemicals that can damage your photos. So if you have it like on a piece of card, if you take the sticker paper and you put it on a cardstock or you pop it with a foam square, I think you're good to go. Does that make sense? I hope. Yeah. Okay. Carey, what did you just do? I was on my little rant on.
I was muting because my cutter's really loud. It's still cutting.
They're still cutting. Yes.
So continue on for about another, well, I guess we have 2 minutes.
So another item I want you guys to know, which I thought, like I said, I haven't played a whole lot with Silhouette Studio. I just have done basics. But did you guys catch that Carey has different lines for different papers, different color lines for different papers? Did you guys catch that? Because like some are the pattern paper, the Creative Memories pattern paper is thin, right? And so your blade depth and speed and pressure is going to be different than like our 80-pound cardstock, which is, hard to punch, yet also hard to cut. So I love the fact that, I mean, I would have here's what I would have done because I'm old school and haven't thought about it. Okay, I'm going to put my cardstock down and then adjust the blade and adjust the, pressure, blah, blah, blah. Take it out, then put the other piece of paper on and then adjust. No, it can all be done here. Did you guys catch that?
Yep. So well, obviously these are 2 red ones, so they look a lot alike. But if I do this, you can see that it's just the marker circle at the top and then the map marker at the bottom. That is those ones.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did here is, say I had this and this, and I wanted this to be in pattern paper. Yes. I could set, like if this was black, for instance, pretend these were black cut lines. I could set that to pattern paper and the Silhouette Cameo will adjust the blade depth automatically before it goes to cut that section.
Yeah, that is really cool. I hope you guys caught that. Did you catch that? Because that's huge, not having to stop, take your thing off, put another piece of paper on, like you can just tell your printer in the program what kind of paper you have positioned where on your mat, and it'll do the adjustments for you.
All right. So you can see that we finished cutting our items. So I'm just going to remove pieces of cardstock that are not my embellishment. Of course, this one, I have lots of cardstock left over of that one. So one of the, like if you're cutting something that's large, one of the hints that I have for you is actually flip your mat over and peel the mat away from the cardstock. So I don't know if you cut large things, you notice that if you pull up the paper this way, the paper will curl. So with things this small, it really doesn't affect it much. But if you have something larger that you're cutting, you want to flip it over and pull the mat away from your cardstock. Believe it or not, it makes a difference. So that's another good hint for you. So I see that Beware, actually, Julie, they did put an announcement out that they were, going to limit to 20 uploads if you were not a member of the Cricut access, but they since have retracted that. So you don't have to have a subscription, and they will not do that now. So there was enough of an outcry that,
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
that they are not going to do that. So I think they announced
So
that
Carey,
yesterday.
do you know?
Oh, do I
Yeah.
know?
Deb had, can you do the same blade depth things with the Cricut?
I don't know if I've done that.
And
No,
so
because the Cricut, I'll have to get back on you with that one. So we are actually going to be creating Cricut classes as well. So I think for the most part, out of recent memory, I've only ever put one type of media on the mat.
Mhm.
So I will have to get back with you on that one.
Okay.
But I think, yeah, I'm not going to try to think too hard on that.
And you guys, you know, there's some amazing YouTubers out there that have really in-depth tutorials, you know, going into all the features of the different programs. But what I think is really awesome is, and you know, what I've been talking to Carey about a lot is bringing it into our realm, into the scrapbookers realm. Like, what can we do? You know, how can we use this to make our pages, you know, fun and just expand what we're doing. So that's what I think. You know, we're not trying to compete with, you know, those people who know everything there is to know and do all those amazing videos, but really we're kind of niching it down into the, you know, really for scrapbookers, what tell us what to do. So
Exactly. So like I said, even though like I'm a software programmer by day, so I'm very technical, but when I scrapbook, I do that on paper. I don't digital scrapbook at all. So I will create my embellishments on the computer and cut them with my electronic cutter, but I will not scrapbook digitally. And that's just because I spend all day on a computer. I want to play with something in my hands.
I agree. I agree.
So what do you say we put this one together?
Isn't that cute, you guys? Come on, throw Carey some love. Come on, throw it up in the chat. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness. Right?
I'm grabbing my adhesive right now.
So cute. Yeah. So Carla said you can do blade depths in
I just don't know if we're on the same mat though. That's the one I don't know.
okay. So yeah, Kristen, I know. I think that there's a lot out there that are like, let's make cups and let's make vinyl things and let's make t-shirts. But, you know, we're all about scrapbooking here. So
Yep.
yeah. Isn't it cute? Thank you, Kristen. I know. So darn cute.
So believe it or not, again, how new I am to Creative Memories. This is my first time using the tape runner. I've always used the repositionable. So you have witnessed. So with the last bit of free shipping, I bought a whole bunch of adhesives.
Yeah.
So one thing when you're putting these together is you want to layer them from the back forward. Very important, or else you definitely want to use reusable adhesive.
Yes. I love the repositionable adhesive. Yes. Okay. Getting lots of hearts and loves, Carey. So they like it. It's pretty cute. Look at you guys. She has her foam squares ready too. So very fun.
Yeah. But what I absolutely love, and then there's the pen.
Oh,
very useful. One thing that we do need is the reverse tweezers though.
I know, you know, eons ago, old CM, we had them. Yeah.
Oh no. Of course, I just goobered on my why, but
That was when they had that's when, you know, they had a little set. It was so cute. when they had the Cricut cartridges, right? We had,
I wish they would bring that back.
it was a cute little set. It was like um, what do you call, what is that thing called with the little burnisher ball at the end?
Embossing tool, stylus.
Yeah, like a stylus kind of thing.
So I'm going to do the U. So again, the U, I had that overlapping a little bit just to add depth, make it sound like I'm very designery.
You are. And Carla, I am definitely a simple scrapbooker as well, but I love being able to show kind of all extremes of if you have a really special page or you've run out of an embellishment or you want to do something kind of extra for a certain page, there is definitely a way to do it. But for me, one of my favorite things for cutters is titles. I love titles, because I just can't get enough of, to me, just having one size of, or a couple sizes of sticker letters. I love big, bold titles. You guys have seen what I do. So, but I think it's really fun to see all the different ways we can create and have fun.
Oh, I forgot okay. In the file that we will share, I have an exclamation mark. I forgot to type that in.
Yes.
All right, that's okay. Well, let me just put the heart in my circle.
And I think it's good to have, and Sue is saying she's low tech, loving it and finding it fascinating, and I think it's always good to know what the possibilities are, and then you guys make your decision on, if there's a page that you want to do something special for, or I don't know, if you're like Carey and can whip this up, with her eyes closed, she can do it on every page. Me, I'd have to think a long time about this. Although we're going to practice, right, Carey? We're going to practice.
Yeah, we will. We will.
So
there's our. So there you go. We have. Isn't
that fun? And so what Carey was saying is we are going to share this cut file. That was your surprise for everybody who's still here or have, hung on. If you go, it's not up yet, but sometime this weekend, Carey created this cut file for you. And you can go find it on my website at Craft Some Joy for free, you guys, because we love you. And it'll be the same place where you find like my dot grid and all that. So you can go find the file there and download it. What do you think? Cute?
Actually, Carla, there is actually a weld inside of Design Space. So we definitely can show you how to do that as well.
Yeah, welding is wonderful, especially fonts.
Yep.
Right.
All right. Well, that was what I had for you today. So I'm going to pass the reins back to you, Lauren.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Carey. You guys, aren't we lucky? Aren't we lucky to be in the same realm as such talent? Kristen says she never knew the map dot could be so cute. I know, right?
Yeah.
It's so darling. So if you guys want to hang on just for a few more minutes and say your thank yous to Carey, like I said, we'll have that file for you up on the website sometime this weekend. You guys, most of you know, I am working with the Creative Cafe ladies. We are starting bright and early tomorrow morning at 8 Pacific time with coffee time. So this weekend is going to be hectic. We've been working really hard to get everything set up and perfect for you. So I'm I'm going to just give myself a little time to get that up for you is what I'm saying. So look for that sometime in my off time. I will get that posted, and you guys, yes, we're so lucky to have Carey. All right. Well, I was as promised, I thought we could just do one quick little border. This is such a cute, simple border. And I thought it would be fun. We can just wrap things up with doing something with paper and the new collection. And one thing, when I saw this border, I love the whole pizza. Carey, like you said, this could be perfect for your son, right? You could just copy it perfectly. But I saw this and I also thought, well, you know how this would play out for me really well is I have 2 boys that love to game. And did you guys, I know you have gamers too, Carey. Did you guys see these cute little gamer stickers right here?
Oh, yeah.
So cute, right? So I thought we could kind of maybe rebuild this border, tweak it a bit, because you can copy that. I know you guys are good at copying that, but let's rebuild it. Maybe take a look at it and see how we can make this fun for a gamer. So what I'm going to do is kind of, now that I know that this is the sticker I want to, make sure I have room for, I can again just look at this and go, that's about it. It's over a 2.5 inch sticker. So I want my border to be, I don't mind that it hangs off, but I think I want my finished border, this background, to be 2.5. And you know me, I don't like huge borders. So I'm going to start, and they had blue on the bottom. I love this yellow. I think this yellow stripe is so fun. So I'm going to start with a 2.5 inch base with the yellow strip and just cut my straight edge with that. And then I'm going to switch it out to a different blade. And I want to say, that one looks like the wave. So we're going to use the cute little wave blade for the next layer. And the next layer, I am going to kind of pop in that white again. So let's do that. And I'm just going to cut that little edge first at the 1/8 inch. Cute little, I love this wood paper. So fun. And this is, since we're at 2.5, we're going to bring this down to 2.25, so that we have just that little reveal. I think that's what we want. A little reveal on the sides, maybe just a smidge more in. Okay. And that's going to give us that really kind of cute little pop of yellow behind for our layer. And then now what I'm going to do is bring the blue forward. So I'm going to switch back to my straight blade. And then now I want to kind of bring the dark color, because I've got lighter, and now I'm going to go back for my contrast and get that dark color. And I'm going to cut this at exactly 2 inches because we've been kind of layering down. And we'll get this strip right at 2 inches. So that's kind of my layering piece. And this is also where, if you were going to do a 2-page spread, I'm going to have to cut that a little more. I thought that was going to, it was because the edge on that. I need to cut that a smidge more, guys. I'm going to cut 1/8 of an inch off my strip. And now I'm going to have that peekaboo of white. The wave kind of cut in. Okay, so there we go. Perfect. So if you're going to do a 2-page, I would just repeat that again, so you can do another companion border. That's what we like to call them, companion borders. So then we got to figure out what we're going to do on top. And this one had the green kind of, I don't know, what do you call this? Little spirals looks like spirograph to me, paper on top, and then just some little blocks. So I kind of think that's fun. We'll add in the green, but I'm not going to do kind of the equidistant blocks that I see here. And I'm not going to be using the punch, although it's super cute, because we're turning this into a gaming border for all of our little gaming friends, right? So I'm going to take this down, since that was a smidge less than 2 inches. Let's go down. I think I probably should have done a little better measuring on this. Let's see if I can I make it 2 1/4? Well, let's try 2 1/4 and see if that works. I mean, 1 3/4. Sorry, you guys are going to be really mixed up with my measurements tonight, aren't you? This is 1 3/4. Let's see. Now it's a little, I'm going to have to take an 1/8 inch off of that. So I'm going to just take that down a little bit more, because we like to see all that cute little layering piece. So we have our layered border. And now we're going to kind of, to me, what would come next for this border is grabbing our embellishments and kind of figuring out. Now, Carey, if you're still around, wouldn't this be a cute one to use, like since we've been talking cutters, the Brother Scan and Cut, you could put this in and scan it. You could leave it on the sheet and scan it, and then create an offset, and then cut
make it dimensional.
That, right? Wouldn't that be
Definitely.
fun?
Yeah.
Really fun. So you could do that, so that when you pop that up, it would be, in that shape. But we're going to do the other thing you can do, which is use your custom cutting system to just create. I'm going to just do a little oval with it. So, that's the whole thing. You've always got choices when you are learning. Actually, no, I think we're going to go with oval. So when I'm looking for a shape, I'm just going to place these down. So that one's too small. This one I think would work really well. And I'm going to go inside that. So I'm going to go just take a peek and see if the green blade would work. So it looks like the green blade's going to give me a perfect cut for that. And I'm going to come back out to the white for it. Let me see, where'd my sticker go? Yeah, for my background. I'm going to pop this on the white. So I'm going to just put it up here. Remember, we can bring it in so we can reuse that if we need to. Just place a picture over it. Okay. Here we go. Got the oval. So this is the low-tech version of creating a border too, which is just, sometimes it depends on what you're in the mood for, right? So that's a perfect little background there for that sticker. I'm not going to stick it all the way down because I might have to do my little clustering. Mary, are you still here? Cluster. We have to cluster, or at least maybe get some enamel or epoxy stickers on there, right? Those are so cute. So, okay. Well, we'll come back and look at that. So this would be something if you wanted to, let me bring the original back. If you wanted to create kind of segments in here, we could still do that. And some of the stickers I thought would go with the kind of gaming one would be this right here. I thought this was cute. So if you wanted to kind of separate these out, you could and do a gaming pattern here. But I think this is kind of fun for clustering, just adding this guy right here. And I kind of like this little Wi-Fi symbol, right? That one's kind of cute too. So I'm probably going to see about popping actually this one up on a foam dot and then clustering those together. So kind of taking the idea of what we've learned on from this border strip and then just kind of creating our own little version of it. I'm just going to put this together so we can see. But this one on its own, I think this was a crystalline border. It's probably a crystalline border. I'm almost positive this was off of her post on the blog. And they're cute just to copy, just as they are, right? Okay. Get that first layer down. So I think when I was cutting the first layer, we started at 2.5. And then I went in probably on my white layer. I just wanted to see that cute little yellow stripe. So that's why I kept having to cut those 1/8 inch strips off, right? And that's cute too with the arrows, but I do like the lighter green. It's going to pull in the color from the gaming controllers. So like I could see this would be fun on a page and I would add this on, and then wouldn't a fun title, like we could cut a title, right? Game on. Wouldn't that be cute? We could do game on or something having to do with gaming and have it on the, if we're going to do a journal box, you could have it on the journal box and have kind of a companion little border. Okay, so how about that? Lickety split. Joined us. We're wrapping up with a fun little border from the new Staycation pack, inspired by the takeout border. So fun. But if you have a gamer in your life, I think that would be a fun little addition to a page where you can take some pictures, right, you guys? I was just thinking about it. I need to go snap a couple pictures of my boys with their computers. So, okay. Well, all right, you guys. Thank you so much. I know there were a bunch of comments that kind of came in while I was chit-chatting with the borders, but I hope you enjoyed our guest speaker, and I'm so glad you were able to join us tonight. Oh, hold on, let me come back here. And let's see. Remove spotlight. Can I come back? Show self view. Here I am. Okay. All right. So there we go. So just to say thank you guys for joining me. And if you are joining us tomorrow for Creative Cafe, we will see you bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm really excited about sharing some tips and tricks about lettering. And I hope you enjoy that part. So I will be sharing my lettering class tomorrow. There's a whole agenda. If you haven't gone in the spring group, there's a whole agenda of all the different classes we'll be teaching. We're going to have some friends from home office join us for the weekend. We have a lot of prizes also to give away, and we're just going to have a lot of fun. So until next time, we're going to be back here 2 weeks from now. And I'm hearing a beeping. Are we still okay, Carey?
You look fine to me.
Okay. I guess that's just kind of an odd beep I heard. But so thank you guys once again for joining us, and so appreciate you. Carey, thank you once again. And you're amazing, as always. We'll be back in touch with you 2 weeks from now. We'll come back for Friday night scrapbooking. But in the meantime, contact us, leave a comment to this video if you're watching on replay, telling us what you would really like to learn, because this is how we need to collect information from you guys, is here once we've given you some information. Was this helpful? What did you need to know? What would you like to know? And we've already heard, some of the other cutting machines would be good to work with. So let us know, just so we have that all in writing. That would be helpful. All right, you guys. So until next time, when we see you either this weekend or 2 weeks from now on YouTube, right back here on my channel. I have lots of other videos for you to watch in the meantime, so you can check that out. Thank you so much for joining us, and have a wonderful evening, rest of your day, and make sure to craft some joy. Take care, everyone. We'll see you soon.